This is me, Rita, and that day I laughed at the worst possible moment. Not during a joke, not while watching something funny, but in a moment where everyone else was completely serious. And honestly, I didn't understand why it happened. I remember sitting in a completely silent room. Someone was speaking about something important. The atmosphere felt heavy. Everyone looked focused. Then suddenly something changed inside my chest. A small pressure, a rising feeling, like something was about to escape. I tried to stop it. I pressed my lips together. I looked down. I pretended to cough. But a second later, I was laughing. And the worst part wasn't the moment itself, it was the question that came after. Why did I do that? Later, I started reading about it. Turns out, my brain isn't designed to follow social rules. It's designed to protect me. Deep inside, survival matters more than looking appropriate. When emotional pressure rises too fast, my nervous system sometimes hits an emergency button. And sometimes that emergency button is laughter. Not because I find something funny, but because my brain wants to release tension immediately. When laughter starts, I can literally feel my body changing. My breathing shifts, my chest relaxes, my muscles loosen. Stress feels like it drops for a moment. From what I learned, laughter works like opening a pressure valve. Without it, emotional stress can build up to dangerous levels. So sometimes my brain chooses laughter instead of panic. And the more I try to control it, the worse it gets. The second I tell myself, don't laugh, my brain suddenly focuses on the idea of laughing. Then I start noticing tiny absurd details around me, things I normally wouldn't even register, and somehow that makes everything worse. It's like my brain turns the situation into a forbidden territory. Sometimes laughter shows up when I feel nervous, in social pressure, in uncomfortable conversations, in moments where I feel watched or judged. I discovered that nervous laughter can act like a signal, almost like my brain is trying to communicate safely, which honestly makes sense from a survivor perspective. The deeper I looked into it, the more I realized something important. Emotions don't always stay in clean categories. Sometimes happiness mixes with anxiety, sometimes fear mixes with relief, sometimes sadness mixes with laughter. Human emotional systems are messy, and honestly, that made me feel less broken. I also noticed something else. If someone else started laughing, my control disappears faster. Apparently, humans mirror emotions automatically. My brain copies signals from people around me without asking permission. So, one person losing control can trigger everyone else, and suddenly the entire room is fighting laughter. I've cried during happy moments. I've laughed when I felt overwhelmed, and I've frozen when I should have reacted. And apparently, that's normal. So, back to me, maybe that moment wasn't about disrespect. Maybe it wasn't about humor at all. And if something like this ever happened to me again, maybe instead of judging myself, I will remember something simple. Being a human is complicated, and sometimes emotions don't ask permission before they appear.